Welcome to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Our top story: auctioneer Al Conover opened the Iowa State Fair Sales of Champions this year expecting to be impressed. He was immediately proven right by the first animal in the auction, Avery Shawlah's Grand Champion steer. Enthusiastically hollered bids from around the room finally slowed and eventually stopped at a record price not only for steers, but for any animal sold in the fair's 130-year history, an eye-popping $135,500 for a rate of $100 a pound. The sum made up over a fourth of the money spent on the 16-animal auction, according to a news release from the Fair Board. Before the auction even began, the Shawlahs had already made waves by winning Divisions 1, 2, and 3 of the steer show alongside the Grand Champion spot, yet another feat that has never been accomplished by one family at the fair. It's a drastic understatement to say the six-digit check exceeds the market rate for a steer, while the fair's auction price is hardly a reasonable expectation for the ag industry. Jana Shawlah said that she was happy to see so much support for the kids, with a 25% cut of every sale going back to the Iowa Foundation for Agricultural Advancement. They're donating it pretty much for the kids, she said. It's going back for scholarships, and it's a good cause. I think it's pretty neat, and very neat indeed. Iowa PBS will hold an Iowa Press debate for the 1st District U.S. congressional race on Monday, September 26th at Iowa PBS Studios in Johnston. The hour-long debate will begin at 7 p.m. The program will air live on statewide Iowa PBS and be streamed on iowapbs.org, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Candidates State Rep. Christina Bohannon, a Democrat from Iowa City, and U.S. Rep. Marionette Miller Meeks, a Republican from Ottumwa, will answer questions from reporters and discuss their platform concerns and future plans. Kay Henderson of Iowa Press will moderate the debate with a panel of Iowa political journalists asking the candidates questions. There will be no studio audience during the debate. Spanish translations will be available for Iowa Press Debate's 1st Congressional District via SAP. Episodes with Spanish audio and subtitles will be available on demand on iowapbs.org and YouTube. Those are our top stories for September 1st. It is now time for obituaries. Ruth Eileen Pickard of Fairfield passed away on August 29th at the age of 76. A celebration of life will be held at 10 a.m. September 2nd at Wilson Friends Church in Richland. Benner Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Alexander James Meltzer of Wappinger Falls, New York, passed away on August 18th at the age of 70. The family will have a private memorial in his honor. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll have the weather and sports.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Welcome back to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have a preview of the upcoming football game on Friday, but first, the weather.
The weather is brought to you by Jacqueline Areola, LLC.
Come visit Jackie in her new location downtown. She is ready to serve Washington and the surrounding community. Today has been partly cloudy and hot with a high of 90. Tomorrow it'll be mostly the same, although there will be a bit more sun. Saturday will be almost exactly the same again, with mostly sunny skies and a high of 90. Sunday will be cooler with a high of 83, and Labor Day it will be partly cloudy with a high of 86. That was the weather. It is now time for sports.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway.
Southeast Conference action is heating up in the second week of the 2022 football season. Rivals Mount Pleasant and Washington are set to clash in Mount Pleasant on Friday night. To start the season, the start to the season has been a little bit different for the two squads. For Washington, Week 1 ended with a win over Burlington, while Mount Pleasant suffered a loss from the hands of Fairfield. Washington put together an all-around performance in the 21-14 win over the Greyhounds. Burlington scored first, but Washington rallied with 21 over the second and third quarter, while fending off a late surge by Burlington to win it. Senior Taven Stewart had a big week for Washington in the opener, rushing for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. He'll be the Demons' main ball carrier again. Ethan Patterson will be running the offense. He only threw 7 times in week 1, but rushed for 51 yards. As for Mount Pleasant, it took the Panthers a little while to get going last Friday in the 41-20 loss to Fairfield. Fairfield scored 20 in the first quarter alone. The Panthers found the end zone in the second and were able to add a pair of touchdowns in the fourth, but the Trojans scored 21 between the third and fourth to win it. Leading the Panthers offense once again will be Jacob Rickman. Rickman had a nice showing in week 1, completing 21 passes for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Washington was dominant in the series for some time now. Out of the last 12 games, Washington is 11-1 against Mount Pleasant. In 2021, the Demons were winners 22-0. Friday night's game is set to begin at 7:30 at Mount Pleasant's Maple Leaf Athletic Complex. Mount Pleasant is my alma mater, so I'm not quite sure who I'm rooting for yet. The jury's still out. That is our top stories for Washington today. I'm Nick Steffens, your host. This is the Southeast Iowa Union Newsbreak, and I will see you next time.